It is actually kind of wild to me how many people in tech are still operating like it's 2020, still doing things manually, still not tapping into the most powerful set of AI tools that have ever existed. And I'm not saying it to be harsh, I'm saying it because I've lived it on both sides. The projects that used to take me 2 months to complete, I'm now able to get it done over a weekend. And I'm not exaggerating. Things that used to require a full team, I can now pull off as an individual or even a small group of 10 people, moving fast and smart. Now the delta between how I used to work and how I work now is honestly kind of insane. And it comes down entirely to tools that I'm using and how I'm using them. So in this video, I'm going to walk you through the exact AI stack that has changed the way I operate. I'm not going to give you the generic use ChatGPT to write emails advice because you already have heard that 100 times. I'm going to give you the real stuff, the tool that actually moves the needle. And by the end of this, you can call yourself AI native. And you should have a completely different picture of what is possible right now with these AI tools. So let's get started. So let me start with something that has genuinely changed my morning routine. It's called ChatGPT Pulse, and if you're not using it yet, then you're sleeping on one of the most underrated features OpenAI has shipped in a long time. Every single morning, ChatGPT runs a research on your behalf in the background. It looks at your chat history, your saved memories, your feedback, and the connected apps like Google Calendar, Gmail, etc. Then in the morning, once you wake up, it gives you a curated set of personalized briefing cards, your own AI research assistant that never sleeps. It's been a game changer for my productivity, and it helps me keep track of everything that is happening in the AI space, whether it's around the developer tools, and not just that, it gets smarter the more you interact with it. So I would say it took me about 2 weeks to interact with it and perfect what Pulse looks like for me. Now, instead of opening 15 browser tabs and scrolling through newsletters every morning, all I do is open ChatGPT Pulse and my day is already brief. If you are also serious about staying ahead, this one is worth it. Okay, now here's the next thing. Most people I talk to are using ChatGPT for one thing: writing emails, LinkedIn posts, and maybe a quick summary. But if that is all you're using it for, you're leaving a huge amount of value on the table. These are some of the other things you should also be using ChatGPT for. First is deep research. ChatGPT's deep research mode is legitimately impressive for going deep on a topic fast, whether that's around a new model architecture, a competitive landscape, or preparing for a keynote. It synthesizes across multiple different sources and gives you a structured output that would take hours for you to build manually. Okay, the second one is fun. It's shopping decisions. I use ChatGPT to help me shortlist and compare multiple different things, whether it's software products or something like a hair shampoo. You just give it your criteria and constraints and it does the filtering for you. Then the next one is Codex. This is typically helpful for technical workflows. Codex has been there in ChatGPT. Whether it's Codex app or Codex via API, it lets you write scripts, automate workflows, and build small tools even if you're not a full-time engineer. It is huge for anybody who's building side projects without a dedicated developer. And the next thing is all about the integrations, whether it's Canva, Figma, GitHub. ChatGPT integrates directly inside these tools that you already are using. So you don't have to start from a blank Canva template. You can just give the idea directly into ChatGPT and it automatically creates it for you on Canva. That is how you work with AI layered on top of your existing stack. And the next one is the study mode. All you need to do is upload a curriculum or whether it's your certification examination content and have it quiz you. It can explain concepts to you differently and simulate interview scenarios. Whether you're prepping for a cloud certification or learning a new framework or just preparing for an interview, this use case is massively underutilized. I just can't emphasize on this more that you need to stop thinking of ChatGPT as a chatbot. It is a multi-tool platform and it can increase your productivity that you can never imagine. Okay, now the next thing I want to talk about is Claude Code. Claude Code has been around for a while, and if you are a developer, you probably know how powerful it is. It is an agentic coding tool that can write, test, and iterate on entire code bases. It is incredible. But the barrier has been real. You need to be technical to use it efficiently, and for a lot of people, that interface was not just built for them. And that is exactly why Claude Co-work is such a big deal now. Claude recently launched Co-work, which is a desktop tool built for non-developers who want agentic AI assistance without touching the terminal. Claude Co-work operates right in your Claude app that runs on your MacBook or your desktop. What makes it powerful is these three things. Number one is skills. Skills let it handle specific types of work, whether it's drafting documents, organizing research, managing files. You're not just prompting it, you're delegating it entire set of tasks. And the most amazing part is you can just create a skill once and you can keep reusing that automation. Then the second one is connectors, which integrates it with tools that you already have. So Co-work can act across your workflows instead of just the chat window. And the third one is plugins, which lets you extend its capabilities based on specific needs that you have. Now, for solopreneurs, creators, product managers, or anybody who wants to operate at a higher level without hiring a team, Co-work genuinely changes the math on what you can get done in a day. If you've not used Co-work, just use it for a day and you'll know what I mean. Now, moving on to the next tool. If there is one tool that has been a consistent anchor in my workday for years, it has been Notion. With Notion AI layered on top, it has become something close to a personal operating system on how I manage everything, whether it's my full-time job or any of the other projects that I'm doing. It integrates directly with your calendar, with your meeting stack, so all my meeting notes, action items, follow-ups live in one place. Everything is structured, it's searchable, and it's connected. Notion AI lets me summarize notes instantly and generate drafts from bullet points, and even do a Q&A on content that I've already saved inside my workspace. And I have to tell you this, the templates are massively underutilized. There are so many incredible templates which is available inside Notion AI, which can really change the way you work. These are out-of-the-box templates that you can use for any of your side projects, for any of the PRDs that you might be working on, or any sort of like product prototype that you might be building, or even any of the passion projects that you have. So whether you're building a content tracker, a project roadmap, a side hustle CRM, or a launch plan, there is almost certainly a template that gets you 80% of the way there in minutes. If your information is currently scattered across emails, Slacks, docs, and your brain, Notion is where you need to put all of it. And trust me on this, Notion AI will make all of them actionable. Okay, now this one is my absolute favorite, and it's a little different, but it is one of the highest leverage tools in my stack. It is called Whisperflow. The app is pretty simple. You just speak and it transcribes it directly into whatever app you're working on, whether it's on your phone or your laptop. Here is where it makes a difference. When you type, you edit as you go. You self-censor. You slow your thinking down to match your fingers. But when you speak, you just think. You flow, your ideas connect differently. You get more of them. So what I do is I've just stopped typing. I only use Whisperflow to draft prompts, sketch out video ideas, capture thoughts before they disappear, and get my first drafts out of my head without formally sitting down to write. Trust me on it, once you make Whisperflow your habit, you cannot go back. Now for the next tool, people always ask me, how do I find time to stay on top of the research? And my honest answer is I'm often not reading things the traditional way, like I used to probably 4 years ago. When there's a new white paper or a dense technical report that I want to understand, I just drop it into Notebook LM and convert it into a podcast style audio conversation. And I just listen to it either when I'm commuting or just doing some odd jobs at home. Notebook LM is one of the tools that I absolutely use every single day for at least a couple of hours. And I've also created a very detailed video on everything that you need to know about Notebook LM, and I'll drop that in the description below. There is so much that you can do with that tool. Now for this particular video, I want to talk about how you can use Notebook LM as well as Gemini Nano Banana in order to build infographics, either at your tech job or outside of it if you are into giving presentations or conducting workshops, or whatever that reason might be that you need to put together a presentation. You can use these amazing infographics and put them directly into your presentation. These are going to be such high quality infographics that you wouldn't have to build any of these from scratch. You can use them for your team sessions, executive briefings, conference decks, and the tools are right here to help you do that. It saves you so many hours. Also, the best part is whenever I need to include a quick summary of a blog that I was reading as part of my presentation, I just put it through Notebook LM and it generates a very comprehensive infographic out of it, and I can just add it directly into my presentation. If I need to do a lot of customization where I want to choose between what I want in that infographic, then I go for Nano Banana. Okay, now for presentations. Please don't build a presentation from scratch like it's 2020. For presentations, there are two different tools that I'm going to tell you. And these are the tools which are my go-to every single day. For storytelling, for thought leadership, or anything where narrative and visual flow matter, definitely go check out Gamma app. You just give it a topic or an outline and it generates a full deck with design and content super fast. It is great for personal brand and anything that requires amazing storytelling. Now for technically dense presentations, which is developer audience or research heavy context, GenSpark is not just a tool for you to build presentation, but it is an agentic AI platform. So you can get a lot of stuff done on it. I use it a lot for even generating reports. And their latest release, which is GenSpark Claw, is worth paying attention to. It is their AI employee product, which is built on OpenClaw agent framework that has been gaining serious momentum in the developer community. It runs on dedicated cloud computer per user, and you can message it through WhatsApp, Slack, or Teams to assign it real multi-step work, whether it's research, emails, slide decks, scheduling, code deployment, whatever it is. And it returns the finished result, like assigning a work to a colleague. Now, for anybody who wants to scale their output without scaling their team, this is what I'm going to point you to. Now, this particular tool is also something that I always have on my phone. It solves a problem that nobody talks about enough. We spend a lot of time thinking about meeting notes for Zoom and Google Meet. Sure, where you can drop a bot. But what about the meetings, what is happening in person? Whether it's a coffee chat, a whiteboarding session, or a conversation at a conference that turns out to be very interesting. I'm obviously not talking about personal conversations here. When you're having a very intellectual conversation and you go back and be like, oh shit, I should have recorded it. Now that is where Otter.ai has become a game changer. Whenever I'm having those kind of intellectual conversations, I always turn on my auto recording, and Otter captures the whole conversation, transcribes it, and gives me clean summary with action items. And then I just send those summary and action items to the person that I'm speaking with. Trust me on it, so many people have told me that thank God you had this turned on. So if you're networking, doing client conversations, or running in-person sessions, this habit will pay you constantly. Now the next tools are all about automation. And I want to flag these two as slightly more advanced tools, but absolutely worth knowing about. If you find yourself doing the same 5 or 10 step process over and over again, whether that's moving data between applications, sending follow-ups, logging things in the right place, then that signals that you should be automating it. And that is exactly where Zapier AI comes in. It connects over 8,000 applications and comes loaded with pre-built templates, so you don't have to build anything from scratch. You can just pick a template, customize it slightly, and you can just go live. You can also publish your automation so that your teammates can use it too. Now, if you're more technical and you want to build something which is slightly more custom, then OpenAI's Agent Builder is the tool that I would point you to. It lets you build structured AI pipelines and agentic workflows without having to wire everything together manually. Honestly, for a lot of builders, it has replaced what they were previously doing with tools like Anytend. It is OpenAI's purpose-built product for this kind of work. So TLDR, think of Zapier as the no-code starting point, and OpenAI's Agent Builder is where you want to go and build something which is more powerful from ground up. Now I promise you this one is going to be the last tool. Now this one is especially for somebody who spends a big chunk of their day in virtual meetings. Sure, you can record the meetings directly on Zoom or Google Meet, and they have some AI capability, but Granola is very different and it's very powerful. Granola is an AI meeting notes tool that quietly runs in the background on your Mac. It is not a bot invite that joins your meeting. So there's no AI note taker has joined the call moment. It just listens, and when the meeting ends, it gives you a structured summary with action items. So basically what we discussed with Otter.ai, but this one runs on your Mac and it listens into all your meetings. It works across Zoom, Google Meet, or whatever platform you're using for virtual meetings. Okay, now transparently, this video is not sponsored by any of these tools. I'm genuinely sharing whatever I use, and I genuinely feel that these tools have made a huge difference in my workflow. So let's just bring all of this together. The tech professionals who are going to separate themselves over the next couple of years are not the ones who necessarily know the most technical stuff. They are the ones who operate in that AI native zone. And they are the ones who are going to be very efficient and using these AI tools. Hope this was helpful. Do drop a comment below letting me know what tools are you going to try out first. And if you have any questions, please feel to drop that in the comments as well. I'm going to be linking all the tools that I mentioned in the description below, along with the video that I told you about Notebook LM. And if you're not subscribed yet, please hit that button and also turn on the bell icon so you get notified every time that I'm posting a new video. That's all for today. I'll see you in the next one.